want you, I want you, I need you, I need you, Mr. Loaf. But there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you, so don't be sad. Don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Look. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, FBI. You know what I'm saying? You guys, what? You didn't get Cam Newton, right? You didn't get that boy from Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? You went after the school that Cam Newton went to, but you didn't go after Auburn, even though Auburn knew what was going on with the $185,000 to Cam Newton's daddy. You didn't get Cam. You let him go to the pros, right? Yeah, who cares? Go to the pros. Maurice Claret, you investigated them boys, and Graham and all those guys down there at Ohio State, and Maurice Claret just bring everything to the forefront. But those boys down there at Ohio State, and the tattoos and the stuff that they was doing, and you got rid of Tressel. You investigated them. Did you do that? Was that you, Ncaa, or was that the FBI? I believe the FBI probably had something to do with that. Now you're going after, who's that? Not Syracuse. Syracuse, I think. No, not the Orange Men. You're going after the Cardinals. You're going after Louisville. So you're saying that Rick Pitino, of all people, is involved in a scandal, as if we all didn't know this. And look, I stopped watching college basketball a long time. Look, Sanchez, you asked me who do I think is going to win March Madness. I don't know, because I can't. I just don't keep up with college basketball, because you guys who really don't believe that I think it's fixed, like, I truly believe that sports is fixed. When I tell you I don't watch sports, I really don't watch anything except maybe track and field. And that's usually during the Olympics, so I watch a bunch of reruns, of people who don't even run anymore, Ben Johnson and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? I watch some of the, today's stuff, but not too much, I really don't watch sports, so you guys accuse me, hey, I think he watches. No, I really don't. And I know you guys were being sarcastic, but I did not see the Spurs-Cavs game. But I get the update on who's scoring what. But this whole FBI thing that they got going on, yeah, I think it's a bunch of much ado about nothing. I was listening to Stephen A. Smith and what he was saying. He was saying it's just the iceberg, but it's just another part of the play, if you think it's me. It's an opening act of Act 2. That's what it is to me. Because how could you not? Listen, Nike, Ncaa, one of the most guiltiest organizations in the whole world. Here's what Nike does. Nike has camps in Africa, okay, where the kids don't even have shoes. They have a camp to watch the kids who have to walk miles just to go to school in no shoes and watch them run on a Nike camp. You can't give them kids shoes. They got some of the fastest kids in the world running up Kilimanjaro. You know what I'm saying? But Nike is watching them run with no shoes on. Hey, that kid's fast with no shoes. Like, wait, what? And they're just scouting them. They're just sitting there. They have a camp. This is a Nike running camp. Get out of here with that. So now they're trying to say this guy, this guy who works for Adidas is, known for recruiting, going to high schools and middle schools and recruiting kids to go and play on teams that are basically sponsored by Adidas. So what? Unless you make a law that says, hey, you can't go and try to recruit a kid at this age, or you can't go and, if you look at coercion, okay, if you look at somebody being coerced, all right, somebody not being forced, but being bribed, being coerced. Now, if you start looking at laws of coercion, which I think that's what they're doing, and then they're saying, okay, it's against the ethics law, because they're not breaking I don't think they're even breaking a federal law when you're going to 8th grader and saying, you know what? What college are you looking at? Hopefully going to, because you're pretty good. I don't think that's coercion. You get a kid a candy bar. Next thing you know, all he thinks is sugar. The sugar he thinks of you. You have the Nike sign on. It's all subliminal. Like a commercial. You know what I'm saying? Every time you come around, you got a candy bar in your hand. Why? Because he's gonna look at your big Nike or Adidas shirt, and he's gonna think candy bar, Adidas. Boom. Eventually, he's gonna, that. Look, I don't know how deep it is, but it's pretty deep. But the thing is it's a big so what to me. If you're not forcing this kid or the kid's parents, if you're not paying the parents a Cam Newton amount of money, then to me it's like big deal. If this kid, listen, because, and I'm going to tell you something, it comes down to the parents. That's what it really comes down to. Like, if they get this one kid was giving his family dinners, and you want to go after this guy in Syracuse for that, for giving this Markel Fultz, for giving his family dinners, really, that's a crime, because these kids aren't growing up with a boat full of money. You know what I'm saying? They're coming out of the hood. They just happen to be exceptionally talented kids. And, they're taking what little scraps that they get, because you guys are making billions of dollars off of their backs. They're taking the little scraps that you give them, and they're feeding their family, and you want to come and get, just can't take it anymore. I can't take it. I can't stand it. Not one bit. Listen, I was almost one of those kids. I'm going to say this again for some of you who keep saying that he never played sports in his life. I played for the New Brighton Lions. Look up New Brighton High School. It's in Beaver Falls, okay, in Pittsburgh. I played for them. I broke a record and where I was the most consecutive, had the most consecutive hits in one game. That's not a big deal to you, but when it comes to defense, that's a big freaking deal. Consecutively, I was in the backfield 8 times pretty much straight whenever we were on the field. So I broke a record for that. I didn't even know it till the next game. I got scouted by Riverside. The next game, I got double teamed. I was taken completely out of that position of nose guard. I only played it one game, broke a record. Okay, I got 2 letters from that. One of them was to go play for Penn State, okay, the Big Ten. The other one was to go play for Slippery Rock, okay, a D2 school or something like that. I ignored both letters. Why? Because I didn't want to go out there and get hit like I was being hit. I started receiving injuries in high school. I said, forget it. I went into the military, okay? But nonetheless, it's just the simple fact that those schools, which they do, they send you letters when you're a kid. You 16, 17, and sometimes earlier than that, they start spotting you. We had a kid named Mondale. This kid was like 15 years old, and he was knocking out seniors, okay? This kid was dynamite. You think they wasn't scouting him? You know what I'm saying? But the biggest problem is they give you nothing. This little scholarship, you get a scholarship to go to school. They know that is not their concentration. The scholarship is not the kid's concentration. You know what the concentration is? The attempt to get into pro sports so they can continue feeding their family. When you talk to most of these kids out here, their mind isn't on graduating. This is why you got people like Shaquille O'Neal who go back and graduate. He got recruited at a young age, didn't he? See, you have a lot of that. Their whole dream is to make it to the big show. Whether it's the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, something big so I can continue to feed my family. They're not thinking about that college education. But it's dangled in front of them like a piece of cheese to a rat. Get this right here, but they know this is not what you're really aiming at. It's this over here. It's get this contract over here. But while you're doing that and while you're breaking your legs and you're going up for a jump and you come down and your leg is broken like that kid did at Syracuse, while that's happening to you, then the chance for this over here that you really wanted is going down the drain slowly while you're receiving these injuries. And the problem is you're not getting paid anything to go out there and to win March Madness. You're not getting a dime for that. So all of a sudden, these kids get some incentives, some type of incentive that's supposedly outside of the NAA of the not the NAA the NCAA and the NAACP, but the NCAA, and this is a problem. FBI, Rick Pitino, been getting money. These coaches, Bobby Bowden, and all. You don't think these coaches been getting money? Look at the coach from look at the coaches for Ohio State right now, who was under investigation. Used to coach for Florida, okay, and he's from Ohio State, and Ohio State played them in the played Florida in the championship while he was with Florida and kicked them behind, kicked Ohio State's behind. Came down here with the same program and been beating everybody. You mean to tell me, like, you didn't know that this guy I don't even know his name, football coach. You ain't know that there was something going on with this dude, all the money that they paid him just to come back to Ohio State? Get out of here. These coaches been taking incentives. These coaches been guilty, if it's even being guilty of that. That money should be going to these kids. And this is what pissed me off. See, they even took these kids' pictures off of the NCAA, the sports game, video games. They took their pictures off of there because legally that kid should be making that money. But I say put their picture right back on there. Put about 10 of them on each one of them. Play the game, Madden. Play the doggone game. It's one of the most sellingest games that there is. Play the damn game. Pay the doggone kids. I'm done. FBI, shut your face. Keep it moving. They've been doing it. You're clowning. You're clowning, FBI. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm out.